I couldn't even tell the difference between like me and Chinese people. So I thought we were all the same until I grew up and I was like, oh wait, it's kind of different here.
You don't deserve to stay in Hong Kong. Why don't you go back to your own country? Just go farming. That's what your country do. Something like that.
They would always ask me the same question. Why did I move to Hong Kong? Why didn't I just stay there? I guess everyone just saw America as a better place.
I used to not like being half black because I found being half black is ugly.
So my name is Nehika Thapa, and I'm Nepali who's raised and born in Hong Kong. And this year I'm 17, turning 18 a couple months later.
My name is Elsa. My full name is Elsa Cucho Malape. I am 18 years old. I'm from South Africa, but I'm half Chinese and half South African. My mom's Chinese. My dad is South African.
Hi, I'm Christina. I'm 18 years old. I was originally from America. I moved here when I was around 10.
Hi, my name is Neha. I am 17 years old and I was born and raised in Hong Kong, but I'm ethnically Nepalese. Didn't Maybe I was culturally insensitive, but as I grew older I was like, wait, hold on, so like, am I Nepali or like am I a Hong Kong person? So it made me kind of like, ah.
I struggle like a lot about my identity, like who am I? Like I always struggle, like am I like Chinese or Nepali? Like I always have like confusion. Like I was born and raised in Hong Kong, and I love Hong Kong, but then it's just like sometimes it just bothers me sometimes.
I think it's not only me, like I know some of my other friends who are like ethnically different but like born and raised in Hong Kong. They're like, they don't know if they should be like maybe called Filipino or like Hong Konger. It's just the same for me. It's like I'm torn between these two cultures because I'm not ethnically Chinese. I didn't grow up in a Chinese environment. Like I only know like maybe a quarter or like even less than that of Chinese culture. So like it made me really like because at this like I understood what the culture in Hong Kong was, but at the same time I couldn't. And it was the same thing in Nepal. Like I knew what was going on, but at the same time I felt so foreign to it. Like even now if I go to Nepal, I'm like do I really belong in here? You know, I'm just so used to the Hong Kong lifestyle, the Hong Kong culture, that going back there it doesn't feel like home exactly, you know. Came to Hong Kong when I was around 11, 12. To be honest, I'm not that familiar with my South African culture. I know more of Chinese culture more than South Africans.
But I don't know, when I was in America, I don't really felt like I belonged there. Because I remember when I was in second grade in America, I was probably just only 6. I think I wanted to play with this girl. So, you know, I asked if I could play with her, and then I think she rejected me, and her reason was because I was Chinese.
I'm the only non-Chinese, and it was very hard for me to study in local school at first because I'm not used to it. In primary school, I used to study like international school where I can meet like a lot of different people from different countries, like lots of new people. But then in local schools, always stick with the same race, like Chinese people, Chinese people, Chinese people. And I'm the only one who's not Chinese, like by blood. So I felt like I'm like outsider. I don't feel comfortable at first, and I got like a lot of criticism, bullying. People like used to discriminate me because of my race. I found it stupid, but they had fun bullying me.
And when I first came here, I couldn't really speak Chinese because I didn't really speak Chinese when I was in America, like the entire time. I mean, I did learn Chinese, but not a lot. So when I moved here, I tried speaking in Cantonese, but no one would understand what I was saying. So yeah, and they would always try to guess where I'm from.
Not me, but from other people like of darker skin tone, like Nepalese people of darker skin tone, or they feel discrimination, you know. People alienate them just because of how they look like. And I'm like, I know it from like even maybe schools, they don't like to take maybe a more like different looking teachers, you know? They feel like it's not safe for them. So it really hurts my heart because I've seen it in front of my eyes and I'm like, parents can be like that. So I think people need to broaden their mindset.
I started to learn Chinese because I got a lot of criticism and discrimination back then when I was younger. I think like I was just 8 or something, and then there's a girl, like she always had to pick me. Like it's so annoying. Like there's so many other people, but she has to pick on me, and she's like, "Your Chinese sucks. I bet you can't even study good school. You can't even study the local top school." Blah blah blah. And I got really pissed. And then after that, I just watched a lot of Cantonese TV program, you know, like TVB, those stuff. And they used to have like subtitles. I used to write it on a paper and go to school and ask teacher, what is this means? Is there like synonyms about it, whatever? Like how can I use with the word? I would ask a teacher a lot of questions. And I just eventually learned it from TV dramas. And later I just worked it out with my writings, by reading books.
Oh, when I'm with Chinese people, they'll usually treat me like foreign. They won't treat me like I'm half or anything because I don't know. I just don't look Chinese. I guess that's why they treat me different. When I go to my African friends, they would say that I'm not black enough. Like I'm not acting black enough. Like my stuff that I'm doing is not black enough or whatever.
Like because I do a lot of volunteerings, I have to like interact with a lot of local people, especially elderlies, and not all elderlies can speak English, like proper English. Some of them even has like really heavy local accent, like Chinglish, like yeah. And sometimes I don't understand what they're saying in English, and I would just like, I can speak Cantonese, and they're like, you can speak Cantonese? That's good. And then we had a talk with them. I mainly speak Cantonese, and it really helped me to like connect with lots of different people. And my friends are usually like Chinese as well. And not saying like they don't know English, but like English is not their strongest subject, like something like they're not really comfortable with it, so they don't really speak English, and I speak Chinese, and they really like it. And then I'm glad that I learned a new language, you know. Like I cannot imagine if I don't know Chinese how am I going to survive in Hong Kong, because like not everyone can speak Chinese, you know, especially the elderlies. So it really helped me to connect with different people.
So like when we moved in with my grandpa, he is a very traditional guy. So we started using like chopsticks every day for dinner. We had curfew. I don't know, we just got really Chinese cultured.
I have so much respect for the protesters, like the frontliners, the people who go out in the streets, the people who are doing something for Hong Kong, you know? Kids that are 14, 15, they risk their entire future ahead of them just for us. And then there are people saying that, oh my God, these kids are bad. These kids are just being rebels, you know, just like they're at their age. But they know what they're doing, you know? They know what they're fighting for, and they're fighting for Hong Kong. Most of us are scared to get involved because we don't want to be like kicked out or something, you know? Like my family tells me to not get involved. This is their problem, let them fix it. If we get involved, then everything will like turn out bad, something like that. And I kind of understand their mindset, you know? They're scared because they're immigrants and like they moved here, they came here to work, and then suddenly like there might be some people saying, hey, you're not even from here, why are you doing this? And that's kind of like yeah, we're not from here, but we still live and work here, right?
Right now, if people ask me, I will of course say I'm half Chinese and African. Although sometimes I don't look Chinese, but I just want to identify that because it's true, because I am born in a Chinese African family, so I would say it, although yeah, it makes sense.
identity crisis is when you try to label yourself, but you just can't really. So I'm just like, why not just like not do labels? Like I can be both, right? So I guess I just identify myself as both at some point.
Like, who says I can't be like a Hong Konger and a Nepalese? This place is my home, you know? I see my future in Hong Kong. I don't like see myself going back, not going back, like going to Nepal and doing something. I want to like stay in Hong Kong for as long as I can until I die. I just want to live here. I love it here, you know?
It took me a lot of time to find myself. What I think of myself is like, I'm Nehika, you know, like I'm me, like I'm unique. I don't need to think about others, like I don't need to care about others. Like I see myself as a Hong Konger. I consider myself as Hong Konger because I was like born and raised here. I know the culture really well. I have feelings for Hong Kong and I love Hong Kong. Obviously, I also love Nepal. It's like my country, of course. Like I love it, and I love both of them. I couldn't choose like Nepali or Hong Kongers. I chose myself. I think like me is me. I'm just a bit unique this type.